I'm curious in terms of like champion and building a true champion, how do you think about that part of knowing whether or not that you have an actual champion?
So there's the people who can't or the people who won't. So let's start with the people who won't. The people who won't are the ones who won't get you to the next person in the sales cycle. They won't work with you to build a business case. They won't start shopping you around the organizations. And that's like really, really important to me to be able to figure out is like, is this person going to try to literally be the champion alone, which is not an actual champion, or are they actually going to champion me around the organization? So that's one thing in terms of the tasks that I would like them to do. And usually there's a certain level of seniority. For 30 MPC, it actually ends up looking something like this, where our common champions are the head of demand gen, the head of content, or sometimes a head of product marketing. And it's usually a head of or a director of, or sometimes a VP of in these bigger deals where you're typically looking for that champion. But then the other piece is sometimes these folks actually can't do those things. So even if someone like could try to make an introduction from the head of demand gen to the head of content, if I'm asking the head of demand gen or the head of content a bunch of questions that it's really clear they don't know the answer to, I might start to get the sense that they're actually not politically sophisticated enough to be my champion, because everyone knows that one person on your team where when they bring up an idea, even if it was a good idea, you're like, I'm not listening to that guy, right? And so when that happens, you actually need to keep prospecting the rest of the account as well, because you need to have individual relationships with each of these people and not rely on that person to be the person who's sharing your reputation with the other rest of the organization, because they don't have a good reputation on their own. So I think of it again in the buckets of like, they won't do it, meaning they won't take the steps with me, but also they can't do it. Do they have enough political clout in the organization to actually get it done?